Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, I'll show you how can you fix log4j2 vulnerability in Spring Boot project. So guys, in the previous video, we discussed all about log4j vulnerability. We discussed how can we use log4j2 16 version in core Java project, right? Now in this video, I'm going to explain how can you use log4j2 version 16 in a Spring Boot project. Alright guys, so guys, first of all, we'll go and create a Spring Boot project, right? And then we'll add the Spring Boot starter dependency. Now guys, to make use of log4j 16 version, we have to exclude the Spring Boot starter logging dependency, which comes by default with the Spring Boot starter dependency. Okay, and then next step, we have to go and add log4j2 dependency in our pom.xml file. So we'll go and make use of Spring Boot starter dash log4j2 dependency. Alright guys, and then we'll go and make use of an XML file. So basically this XML file is log4j2 configuration. In the last video we have used log4j2.properties file, but in this video we'll take an example of log4j2.xml file. Alright guys, I hope the approach is clear. Now let's go and start IDE. Here we are. So we are going to create a Spring Boot project. I'm going to call it Spring Boot dash log4j2 fix. Alright, now click on next. I'm going to add Spring Web and TimeLeaf dependencies. Click on finish. So guys, now guys, if I go to our pom.xml file, I can see that we have got TimeLeaf dependency. So this is to design UI. If you guys are not using TimeLeaf, you can ignore this one. Okay, Spring Web dependency. Now guys, as I said earlier, the very first thing we are going to add Spring Boot starter dependency. Okay, so I'll just copy this one and I will put this one down here. I will remove TimeLeaf, right? So this is the artifact of Spring Boot starter dependency. Okay, now guys, from here we need to exclude the Spring Boot dash logging dependency. Okay, so guys, what I did, I'm excluding Spring Boot starter logging dependency from Spring Boot starter. Alright, Control Shift F2 format. Okay, now guys, second thing is to add log4j2 dependency. Okay, so here I'm going to add Spring Boot j2 dependency. Control Shift F2 format. Okay, so guys, let me show you what I did in our pom.xml file. We first added Spring Boot starter dependency, right? And we have excluded Spring Boot starter logging dependency. Okay, and here we are adding log4j2 dependency. Simple, right? Now I'll go to our project, right click on Maven and click on update project. Okay guys, before that, let me just go and add the log4j2 version here. Log4j2 dot version. Guys, we are going to use 2.16.0 version of log4j2. Control S. Okay. Now guys, what I'll do, select our project, go to Maven and then click on update project. Force update, click on OK. So basically when you click on Maven update, it downloads all your dependencies. Okay, now let's go to Maven dependency and verify. Here you can see that we have got log4j dependencies, log4j API 2.16.0, log4j core 2.16.0 version. Okay, guys, let's go and create log4j2.xml file, right? So I'll go to resources, right click, other, let's go and look for XML. So this time we are going to take the log4j2 XML configuration. Okay, so I'm calling it log4j2.xml. Click on next and click on finish. Alright guys, so here I have added the configuration, log4j2 configuration in log4j2.xml file. So first thing is the property. Inside properties we have declared the log pattern. So this is the pattern. In this format I want to print the logs. Okay, and then inside the appenders tag we have added the console appender and rolling file appender. Alright, so here guys, make sure that file name, so if you see, this is the location where I will be creating our log file, and here is the log file name. I'm calling it log4j2-fix.log. basically it should be your application name. Okay, and file pattern, this comes into picture when it rolls, when it creates the backup of the existing file and create the new file. Okay, now pattern layout is same, we are referring this particular pattern here. Okay, now guys, under policies we have defined two. One is time based triggering policy, second one is size based triggering policy. So time based triggering policy, it means it will create one new file every day. Okay, and size based, it will create a new file as soon as the log file reaches to 10 MB. You can change the file according to your need. I'll simply change it to 1 MB for now. Okay. Now guys, here is the logger, and here we have used the root logger, right? And here we are referring these console appenders and file appenders that we created here. So this is the reference variable of file appender, and here we have the console appender. Alright guys. Now guys, we'll go and create a controller, right? So let's go here, new. I'm going to create a class. So I'm going to put our controller inside controller package. Okay, and let's call it index controller. Let's make it a controller by using controller annotation. Okay, now guys, here I'll create a function public string index. Okay, and let's return our index page. We don't have the page yet, but we'll create very soon. Okay, and here I'll add get mapping on the index function. Okay, so this is cool. Now guys, it's time to use the log4j library to capture the logs. Okay, so what I will do, I will use private static final logger log manager. So guys, I'm using log manager from org-apache.logging.log4j library. Okay, and then click on dot, then click on get logger is the function, but here I will pass our class name, which is index controller. Okay, index controller dot class. Let's go and import this logger as well. So here I'm using org.apache.logging.log4j library. Okay guys, so you have to make sure these imports should be from org.apache.logging. Okay, now guys, you can use this reference variable to capture your logs, right? So what I will do, I will use logger dot say info. Okay, and I will just pass a message here, info level message. Okay, logger dot say warn. If you want to capture the warning level message, I can do same for error as well. Okay, so error level message. Okay, I think enough. Now it's time to start our application. So basically what I'm expecting is, I want to see all these logs to be printed in the log4j2-fix.log file. Oh guys, 1 second. Let's go to, we don't have our index page. Here we are using index, right? But we have not created, right? Let's go and create our index page under resources and then under templates folder. Okay, right click, others. Let's go and select HTML. We are going to create index.html. Okay, index.html file, click on next. I will simply add one h1 here. Okay, so this is just simple h1 tag just to print this text. Okay, so basically we are learning how to use log4j2 jar in a Spring Boot project. Okay, now guys, I am going to start our application. Alright, so here it says your application has started on port number 8080. Okay, so let's go to the browser. Here let's go and click on localhost colon 8080. So what do you see here? A simple text, nothing much. Okay, now guys, let's go and check our log file. So what I will do, I'm here, C drive apps logs. Okay, and my log file name is this one, log4j2-fix.log. Okay, now if I click on this one, let me just minimize. So here I can see all our log messages, info level message, warning and error. Here also I can see this is my log level, info, warning, error and all. Right guys, so basically our application, our configuration is working perfectly fine. Right guys, so let me just summarize what we did. The very first step is to go and add log4j2 Spring Boot starter dependency. Okay, make sure to exclude Spring Boot starter logging dependency from Spring Boot starter dependency. Alright, second step is to add the log4j2 dependency. So Spring Boot starter dash log4j2. Guys, so this particular dependency will bring down log4j2-API or log4j2-core.jar file. We have seen there, right? So this single dependency will download both of these jars. Alright, and here we have mentioned the which version of log4j2 we want to use. So we are using the latest version, which is 2.16.0. Okay, and then we have added log4j2.xml file. So this is just a configuration file. There are multiple ways to configure log4j2. Okay, so this is the one way by you can create XML file, you can use .properties file, you can use JSON file, right? There are multiple ways to configure. And in the end, we created one controller, and here we are printing the log level messages. Okay, guys, make sure that these imports should be from org.apache.logging.log4j library. Alright, I hope you have got the idea. Thank you for watching.